The game begins at the Paris Opera House in 1858. Morphy opens with pawn to e4, and his opponents respond with pawn to e5. Knight to f3 develops a piece and attacks the e5 pawn. Black responds with pawn to d6, defending the center and preparing to develop the dark-squared bishop. Morphy pushes pawn to d4, striking at the center immediately. Black develops bishop to g4, pinning the knight to the queen, a common defensive idea in the Philidor defense. The pin looks annoying, but Morphy has already spotted that this bishop will become a target. Black could have developed the knight to f6 instead, keeping the bishop safer on c8, but the Duke and Count want to challenge White's knight right away. Pawn takes e5, and the bishop captures the knight on f3. Black is winning the minor exchange, but opening up White's position. Queen takes f3 recaptures the bishop, and now the White queen is powerfully centralized. Black takes back on e5 with the d-pawn, restoring material balance. Bishop to c4. This is a signature Morphy move, aiming the bishop directly at f7, the weakest point in Black's camp. The bishop also clears the back rank for castling queenside. Black develops knight to f6, defending and developing, but the king is still stuck in the center. Morphy could have played bishop to e2 for a quieter setup, but he wants maximum pressure on f7 to keep Black off balance. Queen to b3. A brilliant dual-purpose move. The queen now attacks f7 from a second angle and eyes the b7 pawn. Black is forced to defend with queen to e7, but this blocks the development of the king's bishop. The Duke and Count are already feeling the squeeze. Instead of queen b3, Morphy could have simply castled kingside, but he recognizes that his opponents are behind in development and chooses to pile on the pressure before they can organize their defenses. Knight to c3 continues smooth development. Black plays pawn to c6, preparing to challenge White's pieces, but further weakening the queenside. Bishop to g5 pins the knight to the queen, increasing the pressure. Black desperately lunges with pawn to b5, trying to drive away the bishop on c4. Knight takes b5. Morphy sacrifices the knight for just a pawn, but the point is to rip open the Black king's shelter. Black must recapture with pawn takes b5, leaving the c6 square weak, and the king even more exposed. The alternative was simply to retreat the knight to a 4 or e2, maintaining material, but Morphy sees that his lead in development is worth more than the piece. Every tempo counts when the enemy king is stuck in the center. Bishop takes b5 check, a spectacular follow-up to the knight sacrifice. The check forces Black to block with knight b8 to d7, but now Black's pieces are tripping over each other and the king still cannot castle. Morphy could have played knight to d5 instead, attacking the queen, but that allows Black to trade pieces and escape the pressure. By checking immediately, Morphy keeps the initiative and ensures the Black king stays trapped in the danger zone. This move transforms the position from uncomfortable for Black into outright dangerous. Castle queenside! Morphy tucks his king to safety while simultaneously bringing the rook to the d-file, ready to invade. Black plays rook a8 to d8, finally activating a piece and preparing to contest the d-file. But it's too little, too late. Black needed to castle many moves ago. Morphy could have simply captured on d7, winning another piece. But castling with tempo is even stronger because it completes development and sets up the final combination. Rook takes d7. Morphy blasts open the position with a rook sacrifice. Black has no choice but to recapture with rook takes d7. This looks like Black is winning the exchange back, but Morphy has calculated everything perfectly. The knight on d7 is now pinned, the king is still exposed, and White's second rook is about to deliver the knockout blow. If Black had refused the sacrifice and moved the knight away, White would simply have rook takes e7 with a crushing advantage. The position has now transformed from a complex middle game into a forced tactical sequence leading to checkmate. Rook to d1 brings the second rook into the attack along the open d-file. Black shifts the queen to e6, trying to defend, but the net is tightening. Bishop takes d7 check, another brilliant blow. The check forces the knight to recapture from f6, and suddenly, all of Black's pieces are horribly coordinated. The knight on d7 is now blocking its own back rank. The queen on e6 is out of play, and the king is completely exposed. Morphy could have played rook takes d7 instead, but after queen takes d7, Black would still have defensive resources. By sacrificing the bishop with check, Morphy ensures that Black's pieces end up in the worst possible squares for the final blow. The transformation is complete. Black's army is paralyzed. Queen to b8 check forces the knight to capture on b8. The queen's sacrifice looks shocking, but it's all part of Morphy's brilliant combination. Rook to d8 checkmate. The opera game concludes with one of the most beautiful checkmates in chess history. The rook delivers mate on the back rank, while the bishop on g5 controls the escape squares. Black's own knight on b8 and queen on e6 are blocking any escape routes. This game is a masterpiece of rapid development, piece sacrifice, and forcing the opponent's pieces into passive positions. Morphy defeated 2 opponents simultaneously in just 17 moves at the Paris Opera House, cementing his reputation as one of the greatest tactical geniuses in chess history. The aristocrats never stood a chance against the American chess champion's brilliant attacking play.